I'm Steve Hofstetter, and you are listening to the Poor Man's Podcast, and you should know that already because you are the one listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at 565 Live in Bellevue. Speakeasy and Stage Stop down on Thursday for comedy, Friday, Saturday for live music. Joining us in the second half, pronouncing her name right, I believe, is guest comedian Amanda Averell. Thank you for joining us, Amanda.
Thank you for having me. Ooh, applause, applause, applause. Thank you for filling my cup. That feels great. Thank you.
You get the laughter at the end, too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's, like,
it's very rare. Very rare thing for me.
It's like we're on the Scooby-Doo set or whatever with the laugh track on it. It's awesome. But thank you for coming on and joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm stoked to be here. I want to backtrack to something you guys mentioned earlier. First thing off the jump, if it's okay.
Please.
I want to talk about Uncle O'Grimacy.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Let's pick up where we left off for sure.
Okay. So Uncle O'Grimacy, yes, debuted in 1975 with the introduction of the Shamrock Shake.
Yes.
He brought it over from Ireland.
Obviously.
He brought it over specifically, though, because Grimace, everybody viewed as a heel. Yes, wrestling term. Everybody viewed Grimace as a heel, as a bad guy and all this stuff. But Uncle O'Grimacy brought the Shamrock Shake over to make amends for all of Grimace's misdeeds and actions.
Yeah.
Okay? Uncle O'Grimacy is a GD hero. Okay? He is the man. It is a tattoo that I do want to eventually get.
I thought you were going to say have already. I was like, oh my.
No, I have a few wrestling tattoos or wrestling tangential tattoos, some Fall Out Boy lyrics, an E Comics poem, and of course, like Disney shit.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe. I do. I got a lot. I have more tattoos than what people think.
Yeah. The thing that got me with that is you said the Walt Disney thing. And when I was driving in, I had, what the hell did I have? The Pocahontas song.
Oh, Just Around the River Bend, Colors of the Wind?
Color of the Wind.
Okay,
yeah.
there we go.
What, in your opinion, what is the best Disney song?
Oh my gosh, that is so difficult.
Or at least
That's
a top couple.
Oh man, you are asking
because
me.
That's one of them. Honestly, Pocahontas is an underrated movie.
No,
and that song,
Pocahontas slaps.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good, except for the casting of Mel Gibson. Talk about a weird miscast to look on. Okay, so we can all agree that the Tarzan soundtrack fucks, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Phil Collins is just giving it his goddamn all on that.
It could be Phil Collins' best album.
I don't know, man. It might be. It's pretty solid.
Land of Confusion, solid, but Tarzan.
Although this is the thing for me. So I listen to like a bunch of Disney songs. Not just because I'm a Disney adult, but because like I'm around kids and stuff too sometimes. So like they're just around. But like, dude, Moana slaps. I'd say new generation, definitely Moana for sure.
Shay, do you know my opinion on Moana?
Mm-mm.
You've never heard my opinion on Moana?
Mm-mm.
Moana is one of my top 5 favorite movies.
Hell yeah.
Moana in general, Moana is the best princess, the best everything.
Okay, firstly,
Moana
she's a tribal chief.
Yeah.
Get it right. Okay?
Well, she's in the whole thing. In Wreck-It Ralph, too. She's with the other princesses, okay?
She is with the other princesses in Wreck-It Ralph, too. Also, Vanellope von Schweetz, quite possibly the best princess.
Yeah.
Okay, my niece, who's 5, loves 2 princesses right now.
Okay.
One is Moana. She's loved Moana for a long time. And her and I have some Disney bathing suits that are 2-piece. You're welcome, viewers. Yeah, you can think about that for you. Keep that in your little spankety banks. Yeah. One is Snow White, because Snow White is my princess, like of origin. That's my princess origin story.
Uncle O'Grimace.
The other one is a Moana 2-piece bathing suit. And my niece and I, for a time, because she has grown, she's taller and bigger. That's how kids happen.
Yeah.
Right. We had matching Moana bathing suits
so
took a picture of us in these bathing suits, and it was like super adorable. It also sucks because she looks exactly like me. Like people always think it's my kid, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's like, but yes, we're gonna wear matching outfits. Thank you.
Shay, I can't believe you've never heard me talk about Moana single time.
No.
I'm obsessed with Moana. You've never heard this.
Man.
I know.
And
the Jermaine
doing the song "Shiny."
Yeah, man.
Oh man, Maui.
It's
so good.
Shiny is a really good
Tamatoa
song.
was Matt's favorite,
Yeah.
so I know the whole Shiny.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one. That's a good one.
It's
I like
so
the soundtrack from Hercules.
Hercules is a
Hercules
good
is
soundtrack, but
The Distance is a solid song, man.
Dude,
Go the Distance.
Everything on that soundtrack is good, but this is okay. So this is where the generational age gap is going to hit in for us real big, right? Because we were talking about that off camera.
Yeah.
I had to sing a lot of the Hercules soundtrack songs in junior high and high school chorus.
Oh my god!
So like,
That seems so
they
weird.
don't hit the same. For
it just
you.
I love those songs, but
Yeah.
it's like
Hero
this
to
is-
Zero?
Yeah, Zero to Hero. Zero to
Oh, sorry.
Hero is one.
Hero to
Because
Zero.
like.
Yeah, it's so dumb, man.
And it was like, I'm sorry, but like I grew up in North Hills, suburban,
Okay.
pretty pasty school.
Yeah.
It's like none of you can hit these notes.
Yeah.
Okay, like the muses. None of you
I
are
was just gonna
muses.
say. I'm thinking of how it
no.
starts. Yeah, that doesn't seem like.
Yeah, it's not. It's
North Hills Choir seems to be a little slightly different than the Muses in Hercules.
Very much so. Like, it's like
Just
you
a
guys.
little bit.
It's like you guys can't hit these notes. I don't know who you're trying to convince of this. So that's the thing with Hercules for me is that like, and that Hercules is one of my one friend's favorite movies because she's Greek and like, so like it really like hits with her with like that kind of stuff too. So like, I don't know. I'm just very accepting of everybody who likes Disney movies because I consider myself like a firm Disney adult. I have weird things that I like, and Disney is just one of them. I don't agree with them all the time. I don't agree with their politics all the time. But damn if they don't put out a good product most of the time. That's for sure.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Did you pick a song? Did you pick a single song either?
I'd say
What a
I would say
cop-out.
I would. Well, no, I
I'm
picked, you
kidding.
said you said soundtrack.
Did I?
You
Okay.
did say soundtrack.
Okay,
So that's
then
why I
that's
said
fine.
Moana. Like, because we're looking
Moana's
at
for sure.
Moana's the best of the new.
Start to finish for sure.
Probably Moana from start to finish. Then I would say like if we're going to like the Disney Renaissance, which goes back to a bit that I have about because explaining jokes is great,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
how
this
you
is
know
the
they're
thing.
good.
All right.
This is the thing. You guys saw the same Disney movies that I saw whenever I was a kid, okay? So there was very much this idea that like girls are raised to like want to be rescued and be princesses. And people blame that on Disney a lot because of all of the Disney princess movies and the princess marketing and like the princess forward thinking, right? I disagree. I don't think it was Disney. I think it was one man who did it.
All right.
And that man is Howard Ashman. Howard Ashman is the man who made everybody just want that longing thing, because you want to know why? Not only did he write stuff for Little Mermaid, he did music for Beauty and the Beast, and I believe he even had some role for Aladdin before he passed away. He also wrote the musical Little Shop of Horrors. Okay? So you can't tell me that a man who makes a movie about a plant named after a woman who eats creeps is not just trying to like give every woman their best fantasies.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just what it is. Okay, that was my nerdy theater shit for a minute. Howard Ashman, look him up. It's an interesting, there's a very good documentary about him on Disney Plus. I think it's just called Howard. It's very good. So yeah,
I've been spending all my free time on the Happy Meal gang. So
I can see that.
I'll do it like Google later.
Yeah. I will say
I'm very learned.
I will say of the hand-drawn animation movies,
Yes.
we'll take it to 2009. I will say Princess and the Frog. Best
I've
soundtrack.
never seen that one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
you've never
so
seen it?
good.
I mean,
It's
I
because
haven't,
it's
but
in
I'm
the
surprised
weird.
you haven't.
It's in the gray zone between me being a kid watching them and my kids. So like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like there's
Yeah.
like Brave and shit like that. Like I haven't seen any
Yeah.
of those because they fall
Oh,
in
I
that.
love
Brave,
Brave.
Brave is a good movie.
Brave is
I've heard that.
super
Even
good.
Wall-E or whatever. I've heard that's good.
Wall-E was
but like
good.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
You know what? There like I didn't see Wall-E or Big Hero 6 until like during the pandemic, and they are very much films that like my partner Derek told me, he's like, I'm amazed that you have not seen these, especially because for Big Hero 6, they used Fall Out Boy's song Immortals. They made that song for that movie. That's the Fall Out Boy problem that I have that knows that. but yeah, like those are both fantastic films that I think are underrated, but I feel like they also fall under the Pixar thing too. Also, Onward slaps too. Not the best soundtrack, but a great freaking film.
What is it?
There's
Onward.
I don't even
Onward.
I don't know about that at
so
all.
No.
This is what happened with Onward. It had a very unfortunate debut because it came out like the first week of March 2020. So that was the last film I saw in theaters was Onward. And it was phenomenal when I saw it. But then like they released it in theaters, Pandalama Ding Dong happened, and then they moved it to streaming very quickly.
Right.
So like it didn't get the theatrical release that it needed. And then on top of that, like everybody got to stream it for free if you had Disney Plus, which everybody had or was signing up for because it was still brand new as a platform pretty much.
Yeah.
So like it didn't get that energy that those films usually do get at the box office. And then on top of that, but like it was a great cast. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Tom
she the mom in
Holland
that?
and Chris, she's the mom.
Yeah,
Tom
okay.
Holland is in it, and Chris Pratt. They play brothers, and like,
Oh.
and this is the thing. Like,
I saw it. I liked it a
it
lot.
is a great movie. I was worried about Chris Pratt doing the voiceover work for Super Mario Brothers because I feel like a lot, and I'm also worried about him doing Garfield, but like I feel like it's because his voice sounds the same a lot of the time. But whenever I saw him, because I of course went and saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, because I am just a big child. Me and your kids, a lot in common, just big kids.
They
big
loved
kids.
it,
That's
man.
it.
They loved
it.
it.
It was a great movie. It was a really solid movie, and he did that voice justice. Was he as good as the actor in the video games? I don't think so, but it's a different type of acting at the same time. So
No, it's big shoes to fill. It's like what's his name? Oh my god, I can't remember what his name is. Kevin. Fuck. Who's the dude that does Batman? Do you know?
oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Kevin
Kevin Conroy.
Conway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one. And also
It's
I would
random. I don't know why I pronounced
yeah,
that.
I would even
Did he
even
just
say
die? Is that
he
why?
did. He did.
Okay.
He passed away
there you go.
Okay, yeah.
earlier this year. I would also say Mark Hamill as a
Dude,
voiceover.
Mark Hamill's a beast. Mark Hamill's a legend on so many realms.
I mean, that goes into my Star Wars obsession and all those other things. But like his voiceover work is phenomenal. And I just watched him do an interview recently because he has lost track of like all the voiceover work he's done. He'll be sitting there with like he would watch like TV shows with his kids. And they'll be like, "Hey, is that you?" And he's like, I don't remember doing this, but yeah, it sounds like me. Like, or they'll see his name in the credits and like, oh, I guess I did do that.
There's a really good documentary. I think it's I Know That Voice or something like that. Have you seen that? It's with Mark Hamill. There's Billy. Oh my God, what's his name? Billy West.
Yeah.
He does a lot. There's the dude that does Bender from Futurama. He does a ton of different voices. I can't remember.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to see the voiceover people and how that all goes over.
Voiceover work is very interesting, and it's so cool and so interesting to see those types of animated characters that could be from any walk of life just like brought to life. And then like you realize that like you're so engrossed in it that they can make you believe that like they are a mermaid or they are like a sea witch or they are whatever XYZ thing. And then like whenever you take yourself out of it, you're like, oh no, that's a person? Holy shit. Like it's like I love that. I haven't seen that documentary either, but I've heard of it, so I'm gonna have to go and watch that. Documentaries are my jam.
Oh, it's super good. I definitely recommend that one for sure. You know what? I think this would kind of we were talking about McDonald's characters. Was there anything else I feel like you were talking about
I
some
do
other
think that- I
character
think you said
that I definitely wanted to touch on before I asked random other questions.
Yeah, who was the other?
You recognized Captain Crook.
Captain
Crook.
Crook.
Yeah, that's right.
So Captain Crook was kind of like pre-Hamburglar era.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe. if you look at the timeline of it, and it was fish. It was fillet of fish related. It 100% was.
Yeah.
Did you guys go to like McDonald's wiki? Because that is the one that
I
has
think
like
it was like a wiki thing.
I went to
McDonald's
McDonald's
wiki
wiki.
has-
I went to fandom/McDonald's, and
Yeah.
I went to one other thing.
Yeah.
And they
Danny, there's everything on the internet. I have it in one of my jokes because there actually is a thing called Wikipedia, which is a thing for Star Wars. I shit you not. I
No.
wish I came up with it. It's called Wikipedia. It is amazing. It'll give you any information about that fandom or character or anything that you ever wanted to know. Like as much as I love Star Wars, like I don't know everything about it. No, I feel like nobody can be like a penultimate like person and know everything about a certain thing. But like, whoa, man, if that website doesn't have all of that shit there, they literally put all of the minds together to make that thing. It is insane.
That is crazy that exists.
That's
It's
how I am.
See what they can do with the internet.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's how I am with the Mighty
insane.
Ducks.
Oh, back
You
in
and the
my
Mighty
day,
Ducks.
we didn't even have the internet. God, it made me feel old to say that, but it's true.
I was moving some things around, and I was looking for an index card for Shay to read some of the breweries. I pulled out this index card for Pete Morris. You're familiar with Pete Morris, right?
Yeah.
So I figured I saw his question, and it made me think, you know what, maybe I could ask you the same thing because I see you do a podcast. How did that start, and how do you do that? Now you do a podcast as well, Snack Life, right?
Yeah, the podcast I do is called Snack Life. It is where I just bring on different people and we talk snacks, we talk food, we talk like dietary issues, we talk all kinds of things like that that kind of fall under that zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, it's a one common thing is that everybody needs to eat.
Yeah.
And everybody likes snacks. I've never met a person who doesn't like a little nibble on a little bit of something at some point in time, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right now, the podcast, I haven't recorded an episode very recently because of like certain other issues and stuff like that. But I got started just because like I really love talking about food and snacks and trying new things and hearing about different things and, you know, snacks across different cultures around the world, just different like dietary things too. Because like whenever I was recording the podcast, I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. Technically, they fucked up. I'm type 1. So like my dietary and I was also having like other dietary issues at the time too during some of the like the later recordings and stuff like that. That's why there's like such a pause and some gaps to where like I can't talking about food was kind of like a bit much for me because it's like, man, I really miss eating like the good stuff that I like. And you know, all those other things that kind of go with it. But that's where it started is I just like it. I like food. It's fun. And you can talk about it with anybody. I've obviously had comedians on the podcast. I've had just friends who don't do any type of entertainment stuff on there. I've had like improvisers. I've had like TV show people on there like Ed and Day. And I haven't had Ed yet. I had Day on there. And like, just, you know, I've had people my friend Jared was on there and he owns Radical Trivia. He did an episode and like we ended up talking about like how he fuels his body because he also does like different martial arts and stuff like that. So like we talked about like it from like a completely different perspective, talked to comics about like, what do you like to eat when you're on the road? Like, where's your favorite place? Like, what do you like to go get whenever you stop at a Sheetz? What is your preferred gas station or bodega of choice? Ooh. Yeah. Oh no, we go deep on that. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I had my nephew on there. I had he was 10 at the time. He's 11 now. I had a 10-year-old on there. He has the most listens of any of my episodes.
Really?
And it's a family friendly episode because he's on there and it's super cute. Cause like I just asked him, I was like, what's your favorites?
Yeah.
And like I already know the answers for a lot of it, but like it was just a lot of fun. And I even I have a Patreon for it as well, where so subscribe to the Patreon and the podcast, folks. Ding 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 ding. Link in the bio things maybe.
Yeah, enough. We'll tag you for sure.
We'll figure it out.
Check that out for sure.
But I do like Patreon videos where like I'll try different foods and and I did like a couple trying videos with him and also some with my niece. And like, it's just really fun because like you can do those kinds of like little things with anybody if you really want to.
Right.
Which is really cool. So yeah, that's that podcast.
Oh, I love it. What's like the craziest thing? Can you share like one thing that you've tried?
Oh, I mean, I don't ever. So that's the craziest thing is subjective, right? Because
Yeah.
like for some people, trying bugs is crazy to
Right.
them, like or things like that. But for other people, like seafood is crazy to them. There are certain things that I've wanted to try that I have not been able to procure.
Okay.
One is a really weird one, and I don't want people to judge me or hate me for it. There is an ice cream that they only make in Alaska that is very difficult to procure that is made with seal fat. And
Baby seal fat and orca oil and
I didn't want to
snow leopard pelt.
I only want to try it because it's like,
You get to club it yourself.
well,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, I do love to go clubbing. No, but I want to try it because it is like, it's a cultural thing for them.
Okay.
And it's also something that you can't get
Right.
anywhere.
Anywhere.
And, like I literally could not find it up there. Also, Alaska, for those of you who don't know, the number one eaters of ice cream in the country. Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Every gas station, every place has like a soft serve machine. It's nuts. It's so cool. And they've got a lot of like really good, like small local artisanal places that'll make ice cream out of like seasonal stuff that they have, which is
Okay.
really interesting as well. You would never
would've
think
never.
that.
Yeah.
But it is. It's really cool. That's a fun fact about Alaska.
So, why do you know this much about Alaska? Did you? I feel like I saw
did.
you
I-
go
I-
up to Alaska.
I went
in the
to
last.
yeah, I did the Alaska Before You Die festival in 2022.
Okay, I feel like I saw something.
And we did
okay,
and we did a live episode of the Snack Life podcast up there where we tried some like
Salmon.
local stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't try the salmon, but I did bring back salmon jerky
Yeah.
that I still haven't tried yet, but it's jerky, so
I
it has
love
like no.
salmon jerky.
See, sometimes the smell of it is a bit.
Oh,
much.
the smell is
It's
very
not-
harsh. It is a
Yeah,
lot.
I am a jerky fan. I like beef sticks. I like all that kind of stuff. But like
And the texture isn't.
the texture is odd.
It is. It's not what you. It's not
Yeah.
when you hear jerky. It's not like
It's
jerky.
yeah,
Did
exactly.
they do
It's
skin
almost
on?
like it's soft.
No, there's
No.
not skin on. It is almost soft. I would
Yeah.
say if somebody let smoked salmon dry out.
Dry out. That's smart.
That is
Yes.
that is what it's kind of like.
You can get
Oh.
like the salmon jerky and stuff at the Market District in Robinson.
You can also procure it at Trader Joe's on occasion.
Drop.
Yeah,
I love Trader Joe's.
You're
They
a
have some
traitor.
good
We
stuff.
can talk about that off the air. Let's not bring work into this.
But I feel like we've been talking for a minute without even talking about comedy. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that, and
All
then
right,
we can get into the
let's
news. Because
talk
I'd like
shop.
to know
Let's do it.
how you got into comedy, and then you do a bunch of open mic, or at least you do occasionally the open mics around here, or
Yeah.
host them.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know some stories about that,
Oh boy. Okay.
or at least if you've had any.
So
Because nobody wants to hear the good stories. We've had that
No.
a couple times.
No.
We don't
You don't
want
have to
that.
say any names, but we would like to hear some horror stories.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with comedy, so I've always been a comedy fan. Like my favorite movie growing up as a kid was Blazing Saddles. I remember watching it in like second grade on TBS, where they edited out the words whenever they were all singing in the church.
What words? No.
They edited out
it
like
into the
our
mic.
town is turning right to shit. Whenever they were singing in the church,
Yeah.
and like that is like a core memory with
Yeah.
me. That and Doink and Dink the Clown, like switching in the ring for wrestling. Those are two core memories that I have. Very much have informed me as a person.
I need to write this
That
down
and the
right now.
25th anniversary castle at Disney World, but we've already discussed Disney. Look up the Cake Castle, folks. It is a treat to behold. But so for comedy, I've always been into it. I started like writing jokes and stuff, and I really wanted to try it whenever I was like 16. So we're looking at like 2001. Do the math, folks. I'm an old person. But then I wrote all these jokes, and I was like, oh, nobody wants to hear this like fat, ugly teenager talk about herself. Turns out they really do like jokes about fat people. They do like jokes about fat, ugly girls. So I was wrong, and it took me decades to do it. So at the ripe old age of 29, went to an open mic a couple of times at this place called Excuses. It was a bar that was over in like the Lawrenceville area. Hung out at that bar, watched the open mic twice with my one friend, and she looked at me and she goes, Amanda, why are you doing this? You know you're funnier than any of those dudes up on that stage. Just fucking do it. Yeah. And the next week, it was like our third week, I told her, I was like, okay, we're either going to go play trivia tonight with this other person, or I'm going to try comedy for my first time. And she's like, well, we're doing comedy. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I did it. It took me 5 mojitos to get up there, and I did it. And I think we all remember my first open mic host was this person named Solomon. He no longer lives in the area, I believe. But yeah, so like that was my first time. And after 5 mojitos and doing it, I loved it so much that I like asked him, I was like, hey, where do the comics go after? Because I knew a ton about comedy. I know comics hang out at comedy bars and talk shop. They'll go to other open mics, things like that. Like I already knew that. So then he was like, oh yeah, everybody goes down to this place called Ham Bones down the way. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So me and my friend drunkenly stumbled down to Ham Bones. And I recognized the name of the open mic host on the sign. It was Derek Minto. Because I met him a decade earlier through a mutual friend when we went to an underage dance club in West Virginia. And this is our origin story. And then
did it have an awesome name?
What?
Did the place have an awesome name?
I don't remember the place's name. But then we also did Cosmic Bowling once. And then because it was like 2004 at the time, like social media didn't exist and neither of us had our own cell phones. Yeah. So like we just kind of like you drop off. You don't. Yeah. Yeah. And then I go into the bar and it was late at Ham Bones. And it's like, listen, for any of those of you who remember that, because this is very localized, you don't go in there late and get a spot. But I walked up to him and I go, hey, you're this guy, right? He goes, oh my God, you're that girl. And I'm like, I'm that girl, you're that guy. And he's like, and I was like, can I maybe go up? I just did comedy my first time. And he puts me on the list. So the first time I did comedy, I did it twice in one night. He did not know how intoxicated I was because he did continue to buy me drinks that night. Because like we were catching up because we knew like we had mutual friends from like a lifetime before. So I ended up being like 8 or 9 drinks deep and going up for my second time. And he was like, you hit that stage and you seemed sober. He's like, you instantly just like went into it. Like, he's like, if I would have known you were that drunk, I would have never put you up. Yeah. and I'm like, good, I got a poker face. But yeah, like that is, and then I just kept hanging out, kept doing it pretty much every day ever since. Yeah. And like and then hanging out with comics. And then I got into improv after that. Always wanted to do sketch comedy, and I wrote sketches in like junior high and stuff like that. So like, did that kind of thing.
How'd that go? Junior high sketch?
Like sketches in junior high? Like, I mean, I just
Did you perform it anywhere? Like, how'd that work?
I did some video stuff. That sounded way more suggestive than I needed it to. We all know I probably
We'll tag your link.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it's my OnlyFans. But yeah, like, I mean, I just wrote like sketches about weird stuff in junior high, like how I wrote a commercial sketch about how they used to use like buffalo dung to create diapers in the Midwest. So I wrote an entire advertisement that was like just about that. And it had like a jingle and a slogan. It was real weird. I wasn't popular. I think that we could tell that I was not the most popular kid in junior high or high school. So I just did that, wrote weird movies and did that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I need to know this because you were talking about wrestling, and then we'll get into some news probably in a minute.
Yes,
Danny.
Please talk to me about wrestling.
Yeah. Who was your favorite wrestler?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. So
easiest answer of my entire
face of Foley?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So this is okay.
It's like saying you like H2O, man. You like the solid, the gas, or the liquid, man. Maybe
it's a combination of all three. No, so Mick Foley, I've gotten to open for him. Yeah. I've also gotten to open for Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth too. Well, Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth because that's his name, and his brother Ryan at the Cleveland Comedy Festival.
He does comedy, or does he like spoken word? Or
he does do comedy.
How is it?
So
he seems personable enough.
Yeah, he's super nice.
Yeah.
They're both super nice.
Yeah.
So Ryan does more like sketch-based character stuff, and you can see a lot of that on his Instagram. And then Nick Nemeth / Dolph Ziggler, he did a lot of improv back in the day. He used to date a comedian. Her name is Amy. John Cena's character in Trainwreck. You get it. You get it.
I'm here.
You get it. Yeah. Okay. I brought you back around. Good. Yes. Based on a true story. Kind of ish. Kind of ish, I guess. I don't know how based it is, but like it's very clear that the casting was involved. But the so he did improv and stuff like that, and like he's very funny with that. And then his stand up was like I feel like stand up for professional wrestlers, whether it's like Mick Foley or Jake the Snake Roberts, who's tried it, Rob Van Dam, like a lot of times they end up just telling stories.
Yeah.
Because that's what wrestlers are phenomenal at. Because they can get in the ring and they tell a story with their bodies throughout the entire match. They could tell a story through promos the entire time. Like that's where the faces of Foley come in. Mick Foley was in the Royal Rumble 3 different times. It's 3 different people. Like that is telling a goddamn good story. So, I feel like that's where a lot of pro wrestlers really have their strength in comedy, is being able to tell stories and not only like make them like entertaining, but also funny and like bring it back around to stuff. So
I remember seeing some YouTube video when they were talking about comedy, and they were saying something. They were talking about the guy. He was saying something. I think his name was Jerry. And they were like, Jerry thinks his jokes are so good that he doesn't have to act them out or perform them. He said, he thinks his jokes are so good he doesn't have to perform them.
Yeah.
And I think that's true with wrestling. Like, they know how to like perform the whole thing and make it something that you eat up and something you're interested in. And I think they're good at something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
And especially ones who are good at it. And I mean, that also goes for people who are tangential to it too, ring announcers and, any on-camera type person, or even any backstage person who's like writing for them, stuff like that. You have to be a good storyteller to be able to do those things. And so that's a long answer. But yes, Mick Foley, probably favorite, if we're going to gender it, he's probably my favorite male wrestler. Favorite female wrestler, Lita. 100%.
Lita's the hottest ever.
Dude.
My favorite wrestling toy I've ever had, the red Lita.
Oh,
no, we won't even get into it, man. I came with Matt and Jeff. No. Anyway,
no, I know what you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
yeah.
Trust.
My fave.
I didn't realize that I was bisexual whenever I was younger, but boy, oh boy, what a shocker that I like
saw right onto this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's like there's a reason where I really like to watch Rhea Ripley a lot too. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because we have the same haircut.
Amanda, can you tell everyone where they can find you?
Oh yes, I'm on social media at Amanda Averell, Averell.
Pronounced right on the Poor Man's Podcast.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you. First time.
Not to brag.
Toot toot. Beat that horn. Anyway, they're on all the socials for like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is at Amanda Averell Comedy, TikTok, which I barely do, is at Amanda Averell, and then Snack Life Podcast is like at Snack Life Pod, and you can find it there. We have a really cool logo that was designed by my friend Aaron Carruthers. It's got like knuckle tattoos that say Snack Life, but if you look at the tattoos, you have to figure out that one of the hands has more fingers than it should.
Dude,
it's so good. It's such a good
I was watching something and it showed people that have 12 fingers.
Yeah.
There's like millions of people that have 12 fingers. It's like it was like 6 or 10%. It was like way higher than you would think.
My sister was born with 11. Her son was born with 12.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like way more prevalent than you'd think. It's crazy. I'm going to ask Amanda one question, and then we're going to get into the news. Amanda, you have 1 or 2 word answer.
Okay.
Of all the faces of Foley, pick one.
Mankind.
Good answer. Oh. Danny.
You're not going to make her pick her favorite Foley face? Come on. Although the commissioner was also very good.
The best. Oh.
I can't believe I just did that.
Lol.
Oh, my God.
That's okay.
Danny, do you know Mick Foley?
Yes. Well, I'm a secret wrestling nerd.
What's your pick? What's your fave?
Cactus Jack.
Oh, okay.
Double arm.
But are we
DDT.
talking like Yokohama Deathmatch Cactus Jack, or are we talking like watered down WWE version Cactus Jack?
I guess it'd be watered down WWE version of Cactus Jack,
Okay.
but I loved that Cactus Jack.
Okay, well, go back and watch some of the Yokohama Death matches.
Okay.
Especially the ones like with Terry Funk and shit like that. Fucking dope.
Okay.
So good. I have those on VHS.
Oh my God, yes.
Because old person.
VHS. I'm actually on the search for a VHS player. Anyway.
I have a dual VHS DVD.
I do too, man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Guys, I need
I'll sell
one.
it to you for $1,800.
That's probably how much they're going for.
That's such an obscure
Probably.
like number. I was like saying numbers as I was talking. $1,800
And 69 cents.
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to say 18. I was like, sold.
69.9
gonna
like
say
the
8.
fucking gas station.
$420.69.
Oh, never mind. I won't tell that story. That's super illegal. Danny, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Here we go. News. San Francisco Airport added their first cat to the therapy animal team. His name is Duke Ellington Morris,
Yes.
That's very proper.
and he is part of the WAG Brigade.
Oh.
Among Sir Duke Ellington Morris is a pig, a rabbit, and many dogs.
Oh.
So, therapy animals.
pig for therapy.
What is the
Okay.
pig's name?
I don't know what the pig's
Orville,
name is.
right?
It's very
Okay.
sad.
Wilbur.
So
Maybe.
I said any of the Wright brother names,
have
I
you,
guess.
okay, this is another link you guys may want to include in your video. Have you guys heard, or have you guys seen the video online of this pig going to elementary schools, and he only has like 2 legs, and he's got the little wheelchair legs behind him?
Oh.
Have you seen this video?
No.
The pig's name is Chris P.
Wilbur?
Bacon.
No.
And the news anchor saying it loses his goddamn mind.
Dude.
When he says this, look it up right now on YouTube so we can watch it after this. Like legit, this is worth
Oh,
it.
that is
It
so
is
funny.
so funny. And then Chris P. Bacon followed me on Instagram.
Oh,
I
shit.
screenshotted it, sent it to Derek, and I'm like, I can die now.
Yeah.
I'm happy. This is it. This is my peak.
Things
Yeah, man.
achieved. Done.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, crispy bacon.
Chris
man.
P. Bacon.
Crispy.
That's awesome, man. The crispy bacon. Yeah. You're gonna see like fake accounts, Christopher T. Bacon. Christopher P. Bacon. I mean,
P. Bacon.
yeah, Christopher Peter Bacon.
I like wonder if like you get on the plane, if you get to like pick which animal you want. Like if you need a therapy animal, like I'm just wondering how it works.
I don't think they hand them out.
No,
do
I
they?
think
You have to bring them with you, right?
I feel like
BYOA.
that those are just for in like the VIP like honors reward member area.
Okay.
Because like, I mean,
makes
I would
sense.
really like to watch somebody try and chase down a pig on an airplane though.
You have to have 10,000 Delta miles before you get a pig.
Only 10,000.
Yeah.
That I could,
Thousands, not a lot.
I could do
No.
that. I could do
Hey
that.
man, it's a pig. If you want something bigger, then you know. you
What
gotta
would be
get more.
bigger than the pig?
I know.
A
Weight
horse.
wise alone. Well, they don't
Yeah.
have horses yet.
Not yet.
You're not at the level, Amanda. I don't want to. I didn't want to bring it up and make you feel bad, but
I do. I got to stop
man.
driving to gigs.
Platinum
I gotta
members
get those.
get
I gotta get
horses.
those reward points. I got to start flying to these shows instead.
man,
Absolutely.
what the
Yes.
hell? They've been lying to you.
All right. Are we ready
Good job,
for the,
Danny.
the next news story? Here we go. The Beatles are releasing a new song
Oh yeah,
with the help of AI technology.
they'd have
my
to because
God.
I can't wait to hear your opinion on this, Christopher. So they're using John Lennon's vocals from a demo that he recorded before he died.
Okay.
And they're mixing a new song, and it's going to be released this year. And Paul McCartney, said about like AI, because obviously there's a lot of controversy right now with like creating new music with
Yeah.
it. And he seemed pretty for it. Like he said, it's very scary, but it's exciting because it's the future and they're able to make music.
that
with
means he
someone that's
gets
not
some
here.
kind of royalty.
well, obviously.
That's the only
But
reason you'd be excited about it.
I feel like they need to just really. I feel like AI in this case is probably just more auto-tune than anything else, though,
Yeah.
because like if they already have a demo that's recorded, they just have to like copy and paste
It's
it
such a
together
bad
and then
idea. It's such a
auto-tune
bad
it,
idea.
and then it would be fine. Also, like Paul McCartney, he's getting up there in age, so his voice is a little bit more quivery than it was before as well. So like they're gonna auto tune the shit out of that too. But, like in my mind, what is the difference between AI and auto tune in this scenario?
It's fake either way. And the thing that sucks is with any kind of art, with any kind of music, you have this window, and that's what makes it so important, because you have this window. Like that's all you have. That's what makes it important, because it's fleeting, because it's finite. You don't have forever. Now when you have all these other things, it's people aren't going to give a shit. When you have everything you want, you don't care about anything anymore. Right. And it's sad, because it's going to make everybody not give a shit about the real things anymore, because I think it's going to be oversaturated with fake shit. It's going to be, oh, yeah, I can have John Lennon say happy birthday to my son and my dog and all this shit. And it's going to be, you could have everything all the time, that I think it's just going to make everybody more unhappy.
Are you saying that they're just going to create a different cameo that's just all AI cameos?
It is, and it's going to be 10%, and you're going to get whatever. You know what's fucked up? And I'm angry now. You know what?
He's in a tizzy.
I was on Instagram. They had this go-kart that was available for $29.99. $29.99. I looked it up. It was a complete bullshit. It's like a whole scam thing. I looked it up on Amazon. They're like $1,500 for a go-kart.
I was going to say, there's no possible way.
But like, what's fucked up online is like, I feel like you can see anything. Like, I don't trust anything anymore. Like it used to be like, I don't believe anything. And then it was like, oh, here's a written document. Here you go. Well, you can forge a document. And now you can forge pictures and videos. And now it's at a point where nothing is real unless you see it live.
Right.
In which case you can't even, you're not even reliable, because anybody can fake anything anymore.
Well, yeah, because you can do those like different types of like editing and stuff like that with like photography, film, audio, all of those things. It makes it's scary. It really is. Like I mean, again, back in my day, we didn't have the internet. Yeah. So, like, we had Ask Jeeves. That's what we had. I had Ask Jeeves and the Love Calculator. Those were the two things I played with on the computer in, like, 7th grade. Okay.
You really had Oregon Trail in there, man.
Well, no, but I'm talking 7th grade. That was the internet. We had Oregon Trail. How old? Again, I'm not that old. I played Oregon Trail, okay? And I even have the tabletop version of it.
I was alive for Oregon Trail.
I mean, I wish I could have died of dysentery as a kid. Jeez. But that stuff is scary, man. Like that AI stuff it's out there.
I don't like any of it, man. I'm going to sound like Grandpa Hopper, but like it's just going to take over. It's just going to make the wealth gap different. Where rich people are going to get richer, poor people
are you telling me that it's going to make the wealth gap worse?
Yes, I am.
I don't think it could be worse.
I think it will get worse, because I think like
let me
everything.
Take that statement back.
Everything, when they get the AI bots and the fake people that they can build now, when they have the people who can work the yacht for them, they don't need the real people that can work the yacht for them. And I feel like, I don't know.
I think the orcas are taking care of the yachts for us, Chris. Okay, the orcas are definitely taking care of the yachts.
Good. Kill the fucking Rothschilds or whoever the fuck are up there. I don't know. I just don't trust it, man. I feel like it's just going to make people different. It's just going to make the wealth gap more. I don't know. I feel like it's going to make the people who own things. Now, you don't need that person working X, Y, and Z different things. Not, you have the self-scanner anymore. You have everything. Anymore, it's going to be more automated, and then you're not going to need people, and I don't know. And then what? Amanda, then what, Amanda?
I mean, in a dream world, a universal basic income, so that way we can focus on our art and development like that and have another renaissance.
But it's not about what's best for people. It's not about what's best for people. It's about what brings in the most income, and that's the fucking problem, Shay.
Yep, I agree.
That's what I say.
You mean capitalism is a problem?
What?
What? Capitalism a problem?
Nobody gives a fuck. Okay. Danny.
Yes.
Do you have any more stories?
I do not.
Those were fantastic. That's a giant cup you have with you, and you had a giant one last week too. And I meant to say something, although Amanda's is pretty big too. Am I just throwing things off?
This is my bisexual. This is my bisexual energy Starbucks cup. This is the only Starbucks cup tumbler that I've ever bought, because I have bought one other one.
It looks like a studded belt from Hot Topic.
That's my whole fucking vibe, bro.
You're that personified.
I am that personified. But I think that this was part of like their Pride collection last summer.
It's super cute
because it's a whole vibe. But this is this is me in the form of a cup, and I have a lot of cups. I'm a mug collector. I've got
So is Shay,
so
man.
many.
Samesies.
I have like a whole like IKEA thing full of them, and there's still not even enough room in there for like everything that I have.
I love cups.
It's an issue. It's
They're
a big
my
old
favorite.
issue.
I feel it. I can't stop. I buy them all.
You buy all of
I
them,
saw
man.
this on TikTok. I had to have it.
Yeah, man.
Had to have it.
The thing is like this is what I find difficult is that the cups don't always fit in the cup holders of my car, so I won't go with anything that big. This barely fits it because I have
Too girthy.
3. Yeah, well, I mean,
Like a girthy.
girth does determine worth, but let's move on from that. This is part of a whole other conversation we had off air. But
It's important, Amanda. It's important conversation to have.
it's a very important conversation to have. But you know what? I'm sorry that the cup holders in my Honda Fit are just so fit and tight.
Exactly.
I mean, there's this little one that like folds out up top, but it does not fold out enough for that.
Yeah.
It does not dilate enough for
You
a
gotta
cup
respect
that
the folds,
size.
man. Respect the folds.
Respect
the
folds.
Those are words to live by, Shay.
Can I
Shut
get on like a
Agreed.
t-shirt?
Yeah,
Respect
man.
the
Respect
folds.
the folds, man.
Respect the folds.
You can have an American flag. You can have a vulva. You know, you have whatever the fuck you want in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, labia.
Facts.
Whatever you want, Shay.
I agree.
Respect them. Shay,
Respect the folds.
where can everybody find Shaylee Baby?
Everywhere, except I deleted my TikTok and my OnlyFans. Those are gone. I have Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. Well, find Shay there, I guess. I don't know. She didn't tell anybody.
And just Venmo
Amanda.
her money instead
Yeah.
of subscribing to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, you can
I'm just
Venmo
kidding, I
all of
never
us
had
money.
Shay, what's your cash app, man? Show it. Yeah. We'll tag that. Amanda, where can everybody find you one more time?
Oh, at Amanda Averell, and then at Amanda Averell Comedy on Facebook, and then at Snack Life Pod or Snack Life on the Instagram and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
I'll find it and I'll tag it the right way, whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I hold myself to a high standard, Danny.
Yeah. At Danny Kaufman with 2 eyes on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right. Come see us at
Bummer
Slam, man. Come see us, man.
This Saturday.
Man, it's my first real show, man.
So exciting.
Congratulations.
Should I be excited or should I be nervous?
You should be both
Okay.
because there's a certain level of nervous excitement and energy, and then like because I did the first one of those,
Okay.
and it was a lot of fun, and for me, it was really cool as that like wrestling fan to like get to go into the ring and like wipe off my feet before I like go under the rope. Like it just felt it gave me a lot of feels. So be nervous, be excited. You know, just don't focus on who's not there. Focus on who's there, man. 'Cause it's a dope-ass
My
thing to do.
last question I have: should I dress like Jeff Hardy? He's my favorite, man. Should I wear the fishnet arms?
I'm gonna say something real controversial.
Oh,
You can dress like Jeff Hardy. Just don't pregame like Jeff Hardy. Don't make this a TNA Sting debacle, okay? Yeah. You and I know what we're talking about. Just don't make it like that. But
we'll be
yeah,
we'll be professional.
be
man.
professional.
We'll
Be professional about
man.
it. Yeah. Don't
You
be
know you're professional when you abbreviate it, man. But Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. You've been very fun. We'd love to have you back. Honestly,
Heck yeah.
There's normally when I finish the show, I'm like, I was the worst thing. That I just spoke garbage the whole time.
No,
But Amanda,
I spoke all the garbage this time, which
you
is
have been
great.
extremely fun the whole time for me. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate you coming on. Check out Amanda. She's extremely funny every time I've seen her, and everybody has such nice things to say about Amanda all the time.
Holy
so,
shit, really?
yeah.
I thought I was just a bitch.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a bunch of liars who just promote you, which really at the end of the day is the same thing.
Yeah, it really
Yep.
kind of is the same thing, isn't it?
They're pushing for you either way. But for the beautiful, the talented, and wonderful Shaylee Baby, for the beautiful and talented and wonderful Amanda Averell, for the beautiful and talented and wonderful Danny Kaufman, I am the beautiful and talented and wonderful Chris. Thank you for listening.
All I'm going to say is I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I was allowed to be part of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you. And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412 Twitter at PoorMansPod412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast, signing off. See you next week.
In my opinion, that sucked. Woo! Woo!
Poor Man's Podcast, best podcast in Pittsburgh.
Straight cash, homie.